Hey there, welcome back over to my kitchen. If you are new, my name is Mel. I love to cook and share recipes on this channel, so I hope you stick around for more future videos. Today we're going to be making 3 recipes using ground beef. You could also replace that with ground turkey if you prefer. Let's go ahead and get on into today's video. First up today, we're making these mini Italian stuffed meatloaves. First thing I'm doing is preheating my oven to 400 degrees, and then we're going to chop up 1 small onion. Over to my stovetop, I have a small skillet that I melted 1 tablespoon of butter and just a little bit of olive oil in, and we're just going to go ahead and cook these onions for about 5 to 7 minutes to soften them up. Into the same skillet, I'm adding about a tablespoon of minced garlic, and we're going to let this go for about another minute before removing it from the heat. Into a large bowl, I'm adding 1 pound of 85/15 ground beef, as well as a ½ pound of Italian sausage. We're also going to be adding in 1 egg, 1/3 cup of grated parmesan cheese, a ½ cup of Italian breadcrumbs, a ½ cup of your favorite spaghetti sauce, 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of parsley, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and then we're also going to add those onions that we cooked earlier. I added in about a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. That step is optional. I do recommend adding it in if you like red pepper flakes. The best way to get this combined is definitely by using your hands. You can wear gloves if you'd like to. Just mix this until everything is just combined. Next, I'm getting out my cupcake pan, and I did spray it down with some olive oil nonstick spray. You'll need to add a little bit of your meat mixture into each one of the cups, and then you're just going to take your fingers and press this down and shape the meat into the shape of the cup. Next, we're going to add in some cheese to each one of these. I did wash my hands. Make sure you wash your hands before you reach into a bag of cheese or whatever you're doing. I'm going to add a pinch of shredded mozzarella cheese into each one of these. You can also use cubed pieces of cheese. I just had shredded on hand, so that's what I used. Next, you're going to take a little bit more of your meat mixture, and you're going to add that to the top of each one. Make sure you press it all around and try to seal up the edges the best you can. This is going to be the topper. I do recommend using the leanest ground beef you can for this. That way you don't have a lot of grease that your little meatloaf is sitting in. And if you have a lot of grease, it's going to spill out on the edges. So if you have a leaner ground beef, I would use that for this recipe. Next, before these go into the oven, you're going to add a spoonful of spaghetti sauce to each one of these. You'll just drop it on the top and spread it around. These went in my oven for about 25 minutes until they were all the way cooked through. This is what they look like coming out. As you can see, some of the cheese did come out a little bit. I did not do a very good job sealing those tops, but that's okay. More cheese is going on the top, so you won't even really notice. On top of each one, I'm adding another pinch of cheese, and then these are going back in the oven for just a few minutes until the cheese has browned on the top. I sprinkle the tops of these with some parsley, and then I let them sit in the little cups for another 5 to 10 minutes. before removing them to eat. This is what they look like on my plate. They're the perfect little serving size and the perfect size if you have kids or if you like to meal prep. And on the side, I just steamed up some fresh green beans. Up next, we're making a homemade version of Taco Bell's Cheesy Gordita Crunch. The first thing you're going to need to do is make your spicy ranch. So in my bowl, I'm adding in about a half cup of ranch dressing, 2 tablespoons of sour cream, 1 teaspoon of sriracha, and about a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. Once that's all mixed up, go ahead and just set it aside for right now. We're going to be using it in just a little bit. I made this a little easier on myself and I just bought this taco kit. This one specifically comes with 6 of these little soft tortillas, as well as 6 of these hard tortillas, a package of taco seasoning, and it also comes with some taco sauce, but we're not going to be using the taco sauce in this recipe. Next, I'm chopping half of an onion up, and then over to my skillet, we're going to add 1 pound of ground beef and go ahead and add that onion in there as well and just let those cook together. Since this kit came with this taco seasoning, I went ahead and just used that to finish off my taco meat. While my taco meat was finishing up, I did follow the directions on the back of the box for the taco kit, and I browned up my flour tortillas as well as baked my hard tortillas in the oven. Now we're going to start building our tacos, and if you see that little silver thing in the background, that's what we're going to use to hold these tacos up. My mom bought that for me a couple years ago for Christmas. I'll try to link it on Amazon if I can find it. Now to start building these tacos, you're going to need 1 of your flour tortillas, and you're also going to need some nacho cheese. I'm just using the Rico's nacho cheese, and you'll add a spoonful of that on there, and then on top of your nacho cheese, you'll add 1 of your hard tortillas, and you'll just press those together. Next, I'm adding in my taco meat. Just remember to split this evenly between the 6 tacos. And then now you can use your spicy ranch and just drizzle that over the top. If you don't like lettuce, you can skip this step like my husband does, but technically they serve these with shredded lettuce on them. Last but not least, you're just going to top this with some cheese. I'm using a Mexican blend. Here's what my finished plate looked like. I did just make some Mexican rice to go along the side of this. My husband was very surprised how close these tasted to the real thing. The spicy ranch was really good, and honestly, it was pretty darn close to what their spicy ranch tastes like. Last but not least, for this video, we're making some homemade meatballs, and these meatballs are so soft. We absolutely love them. You will need to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. To get started, I am just chopping up half of an onion, and you want to make sure this is in pretty small pieces. Into a nice big bowl, I'm adding in 2/3 cup of half and half with 1 egg. I'm going to go ahead and whisk these together real quick before we add anything else into the bowl. Next, I'm adding in half a cup of Italian-style breadcrumbs, and then for the seasonings, I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of parsley, a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. After getting these combined, you're actually going to let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes before adding in anything else. Next, add in a 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, the onion that we chopped up, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, and 1 pound of ground beef. Again, going in with my hands, I'm going to get this mixed together, and you just want to mix it until everything is just combined. Next, I'm using this pan that has a rack on it to cook these meatballs, and I'm going to roll these meatballs into pretty good sized meatballs, about golf ball sized. You should get between 12 and 14 meatballs depending how big you make them, and then these are going to bake in the oven for 20 minutes. While my meatballs are baking, I'm going to go ahead and get my sauce ready. I have 1 jar of spaghetti sauce that I'm adding into this pan, and I'm also going to add a little seasoning to it just to spice it up with a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes and a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm just going to let this simmer until my meatballs are done cooking. Once my meatballs were done, I went ahead and transferred them over into my pan with the sauce, and I just took a spoon to cover each one with a little bit of the sauce itself. Here's what my finished plate looked like. I did just make some spaghetti noodles on the side, and to plate these, I just added the meatballs and sauce over top. I also shredded some fresh Parmesan over the top with some fresh parsley as well, and then on the side I also made some breadsticks. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and remember, I have everything typed out below in the description box, all the exact measurements, any extra details, as well as any links that I may have mentioned in this video. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you back here on Wednesday.